another episode of It's a Man's World, and today's episode is something so little and slight that has literally changed my life forever. And that is habits, habit stacking, habit forming, how it takes 90 days to create a habit. It is pure and utter 100% facts, and it will ascend you to the next level. So the reason I'm doing this podcast today is because I really did used to think like, oh, you talk about habits and like, do we really need them? And you know, like I would never look at it in that detail. And today I'm going to question where you're at right now. And this is going to be to do with your own journey, whether you're running a business, whether it's with your personal life, relationship standards, whatever it is going to be. And the title is Habits That Elevate Me, that have absolutely nothing to do with money, okay? Because I do feel like there is a lot of stigma around habits and success and successful people, that you have to have these habits to become a millionaire or billionaire, whatever it is. And when we take the money away, the status, the fame, the label, the time, the person, your role, your job, who are you behind the doors and what do you do in your own time? And those habits that stack when no one is watching. And for me, I'm firm about that, and I just love that saying, like 365 days a year, because what do you do when no one is watching? Okay, so the first part of the podcast that I really want to get into is your mental discipline. And habits can come in so many forms with your mental discipline. I've got some really, really good keynotes that I have obviously organized this podcast for, and I just know that these will resonate with so many women, maybe men as well. So if your mind is negative, destructive, if it's weak, if you're in a position where you walk past a mirror, you're always talking to yourself, you complain the minute you wake up in the morning, you check your bank account and you're like, oh my God, and it's the worst day ever and I would never understand and blah, blah, blah. We all have very negative sides of the brain and patterns, especially as Irish people, I will say. It is a very strong belief, mindset, and how we speak and think to ourselves that slows us down and limits us completely, okay? So if you take away all of that and you look at your life overall and how you live on a mental pattern every single day, do you say those things to yourself? Do you question yourself? Do you actually control what you think? Because the fact of it is that you really can actually control what you think, and you're the one that creates it all in your head. So have you ever seen when people are like, oh my God, all the mental problem that I had in my head, like it was literally me, like no one else was saying or putting me in that position, it was me. I was the one telling myself all these things, because when someone says to you, I believe in you, you could do that, and you're like, you believe in me like that? And you're like, yeah, so why do you not believe in yourself? It's because your mental side of things and your head and how you speak to yourself and how you view the world and how you view every circumstance or situation that you're in is so negative and so destructive, I'm gonna say, that they're shaping your reality and your life. And why am I doing this for the podcast, and why am I trying to help? Because when you can reframe your patterns, your thoughts, your mind, and again, coming back to the habits that will elevate you, why would you want to elevate yourself? Why would you not? Why would you not want to take yourself to the next level? Why would you not want to feel good? Okay, so daily habit is control what you consume in terms of what you listen to, scrolling on your phone first thing in the morning, the foods you eat, the people you talk to. I'm going to touch on environment in this episode as well. There is so many different things that we literally can control, that we consume, that we just choose not to, okay? I always say protect your focus too. Like if you are in work and you're like, I need to get out early today and I need to get everything done, but your phone's going off 90, that's your choice, you know. You can turn that thing on Do Not Disturb. You can switch off from the world. You can go to bed earlier instead of scrolling really late. The choice is yours, okay? So protecting yourself, protecting your peace, protecting your mind, and being selective with everything that you do is what will initially take you, to that next level. The second part of it is, so we've got our mental standards is number one. Number two is going to be physical standards. And Fit Coach Rossi, you know, like I speak about physical standards again 365 days a year. if I didn't move my body, if I sat as a couch potato all day, every day. And some people say, I love lying in bed. And I'm like, you couldn't love that, right? Does it make you feel energized? Do you feel good? Is your body energetically in a good place? No, it's not. Movement is medicine. Like, you know, when someone goes on a hike, they're like, oh my God, I felt so good after that. I don't remember the last time someone had ever said to me, out of all the years of coaching, 10 plus, I hate going out for a walk. I always felt shit after that session. No, you didn't. You felt good. Endorphins are flowing. It's literally impossible to feel shit. So how you treat your body is a big reflection of your standards. That's why anyone that is really overweight, they're probably a little bit insecure about how they look, because they know they don't hold themselves to a high standard. Their health isn't in a good spot. And when your body and your mind is the only thing that can keep you alive every single day, it blows my mind that you wouldn't look after yourself, invest in yourself, prioritize going for fresh air, a walk. We're so consumed by our four walls. And I feel like after COVID, people just found it very hard to get back into normal life, connection with themselves, connection with nature. But you shouldn't be using that as an excuse 4 or 5 years later, right? I feel like that finger needs to be stopped right now, and we do need to have a little look at the things that you can be doing. Like, you're listening to this podcast for a reason too. So how you sleep as well is important. Moving your body, what you feed it with, the foods. Like, we all know, for it to sit and eat takeaways every single night, we feel shit. So why do it to yourself? It's just choice. Again, look why I picked number 1. It's mental discipline. All right, so they're your first 2 habits, mental discipline, and then the second one is a physical standard. Number 3 is going to be emotional intelligence. And I put this in because a lot of people can take rejection as redirection. And I always say, like, if something doesn't work out, it wasn't meant for you. If you got rejected by a guy or you got rejected by a girl, it is a good thing. It's a protection for yourself. And again, it will hopefully take you to that next level. And a lot of people can't stay calm either under pressure, or they freak out when the smallest little things happen. Again, your problems aren't, it's not that your problems aren't worthy about crying or they're not valid, but you have to actually look at rejection as a redirection. You have to look at pressure as a privilege, things in your life that set you back. Sometimes I'm like, wow, like, I never used to be like this, but how I handle every situation, I don't freak out. I don't, because it's not even real. And I know that might sound a bit wild and some people might disagree with me on that, but everything that we come up with our head is, it's literally a scenario in our head. And if you're not going to die, you should be okay. You know, you'll always figure it out. You'll always find a way. And another thing too is, like, elevated people don't react, they respond. And they respond in a way that they think first. And again, I was never a person that used to think first. I would react. I would come with a fiery explanation or a response. And now I think and I'm like, it's never that deep. It's not that deep. So maybe your daily habit for tomorrow on Monday is pause before reacting. You go in, you see an email that's going crazy, or maybe a friend has sent you over this big long paragraph. Before you react, just pause, read it, take a moment. Not every reaction needs a response right away as well. Another thing too that I would say is check yourself. Like, when was the last time you checked yourself? When was the last time you actually tuned in with yourself and you said, you know what, like, yeah, I need to get this together? Or what habit am I doing right now? Or what habit or standard am I dropping that I'm letting people walk all over me, that I'm not able to speak up my truth in this relationship and I feel like shit? And you know what, people commenting on my body all the time, skinny, fat, overweight, underweight, whatever it is. What is it in you right now that you're dropping yourself and your standard in your life, that you're not speaking to yourself right? Maybe you're not speaking to others right, because how you treat other people is just a reflection of what's going on the inside. And when people are like, God, a lot of people have said to me recently, the way you've handled certain situations and things that has happened in your life, personal life and business, is crazy, because you could have went a totally different way. And I'm like, old me would have done that, absolutely, but I have compassion for a lot more things than I did in the past. And I've also paused and reflected and realised, you know what, like, if it was meant to be, it would be. If someone really wanted to, they would. And me reacting is just a reflection of me on the inside of maybe an abandonment issue, something that has come up and surfaced. And I love that I'm able to address these things and be like, wow, I'm feeling like this because of that. And that's why when you can address these things and you can heal and work through them, you're gonna elevate again to the next level, because the things that used to bother you don't anymore, because you've got such a good way of responding, and you've got such good habits in place with your health, with your mental health, with your physical health, that these things don't bother you anymore. So why is it so important that we look at elevating ourselves and habits that are behind the scenes of doing these things, whether you want to be a successful entrepreneur or not, or maybe you just want to be a better person overall in your life. Entrepreneurship is not for everyone, and I don't want to make this podcast just about that, but I do want to instill in women especially your habits, ladies. Like, pull up your socks, like show up for yourself. Why would you not want to feel good? And a lot of people will disagree and say on their period, I want to feel like a bag of shit, and I want to, yeah, okay, if you want to wear your cozies, but why would you not want to feel good or try, or like, even though you're feeling really shit and groggy and bloated and skin's feeling horrible and you feel like a greasy mess, why not try and work on yourself and feel better and do something for yourself? Like, put a little bit of makeup on if it makes you feel better, go for a walk if it makes you feel better. If it feels better staying in bed, okay, but don't do that all day and couch rot. Connect with Mother Nature, go out, go for a walk, fresh air, whatever it is, you get the choice. And again, these habits that are behind you will hold you in every stage of your cycle and every stage of life again. Another thing is consistency and environment, and I link these two together because with consistency, a lot of people are like, oh, motivation, and you know, like, I'm not really feeling it. And minute summer comes, I have 4 weeks to go to my holiday. I'm like, wait, what? What about 365 days? You'll see that in a lot of my posts. 365 days, 365 days. I am literally a firm believer that you should practice these habits and keep them up consistently. Any women that join the team at Fit Coach Rossi, they hold those habits. They can do it by themselves. They should be able to go off and make it a lifestyle. This is the goal. It's not, oh, come to me for 12 weeks and we'll diet you so hard that when you leave you're shredded, but you're going to gain it all back. That is not how I work, and it never has been from the start. So when you look at consistency, small things daily, like you're listening to the podcast every week, I'm being consistent showing up for you, or are you being consistent showing up for you? Not for me, but for you. Are you having your water every day? Are you going for your walk like you say you would? Are you journaling, or is your journal empty since January and you're like, you know what, I always said I would do that. I always hear that on calls. They say, I always said I would do that, and I don't, because you have to do the things that you don't want to do even when you don't want to. Like, that's when you should really be fighting yourself, and it's an internal battle. Again, we can come back up to the top and we can look at the mental side of things, the physical side of things, consistency with those things, and then you have obviously you're checking yourself. And if you check yourself with those two things, with your mental and your physical health, everything else should be the next steps and the next add-on as well. Okay. Environment, who you surround yourself with. I spoke on my stories this week about when you are getting to the next level and you aren't the same person. Like, for example, when you go home, or when you meet friends and you're like, something's not clicking here, and it's not that they're bad people or you have changed in a way that you look down on anyone or anything like that, but you just don't gel the way you used to because you're not the same person. And that to me is beautiful. And I don't know about you, but I just think when you can be so strong, when you can be so sure about your new self, and again, it's not that you're forgetting where you've come from, but you've new habits that you've stacked. You don't speak about people the way you used to. You don't react the way you used to. People will be a little bit upset about that. They're like, you used to have a laugh about things like that, but you don't anymore. It's like, no, because my frontal lobe has actually developed and I've grown up, and I don't see those things anymore as fun. And when I go out, I don't want to be going out to a bar at night on a Saturday and being hungover Sunday. I do love sitting down on a Saturday night and getting cozy on the couch and watching a movie and getting up Sunday and going for my coffee. And maybe you think that's boring, but that's what I love to do. Okay, and again, if your old self would have just said yeah to people all the time, check your environment. Your environment shouldn't be the same people all the time unless people are growing all the time, and 99% of people won't do the work, right? We're the 1% that are listening to podcasts, doing the work, looking at habit stacking, trying to change your reality, get better. A lot of people will want to push you so far away when you're doing stuff like that you're wasting your time, you know, and you can never change someone, so don't bother trying. You can just influence in a positive way way, like what I'm trying to do here. I'm not trying to change anyone. I'm just trying to show you like the level of standard that you can have for yourself. And as you grow and as you get to the next stage, you develop new habits and new changes, because what you once tolerated, you don't anymore. And that's beautiful. That's evolvement. That's growth. So upgrade your circle possibly, okay? And again, it might be lonely for a while. You might feel a little bit distant from people. You might feel a bit off, but I would rather feel off, distant and lonely than be with the wrong company and feel like, let's all put a happy face on, because I'm itching and turning on the inside that I'm like, I need to get out of here. I need to go home. So I just don't do that anymore. It's just something I don't do. Past me, yes, I would have done that. Silence and reflection. Take time to sit in silence. How many times have you got up in the morning, jumped straight to your phone, scrolled, seen something that you didn't want to see? Protests, Justin Bieber, Coachella, influencers, Ozempic. Your phone just goes 90 in the morning. For me, that phone needs to stay over here. And here's a lesson I learned this week. I'm actually downloading and trialing out this new app for my good friend Stephen, and I can't remember the name of it anyways, but I am downloading it and trialing it. Basically, it will auto lock your phone like completely with only 1 or 2 apps that you want to keep on. And I'm going to do that every evening to switch off and to get a great night's sleep, rest, recover. And I physically cannot go into the app. And then in the morning as well, so that my morning routine, because I am a couple of hours behind everyone at home. So I always wake up no matter what, no matter how many days, I will always wake up with messages, the phone hopping, emails going off. And if I want to go into spiral first thing in the morning, be my guest, the door is open, it's ready for me. Like, I can do that if I wanted every day. Last week I sat on the couch and I opened up my laptop straight away and I didn't do my journal, and I knew, sat down with the coffee, opened my journal, my work phone, and next of all the coffee went everywhere, all over the cream couch, all over me. And I was like, that was my sign. You don't jump straight into technology. But I was on a bit of like, oh my god, I overslept like a bit of an hour. Who cares? This is my reality, my life. But my habit is my journal, my coffee, my walk, fresh air and hydration in the morning. And that's a habit that sticks with me. When I don't do it, it's out of alignment. My day was like a bit messy, and that's just what happens. So I always like to sit, reflect, journal. I was going to host a webinar for a Q1 reflection and looking back on the promises and the things that you said you were going to do. Again, you can't make those big changes in your life if the habits and the things that you're meant to be doing are not implemented and they're not being there to change. So I'm going to give you a little bit of an interactive challenge to finish off the podcast, and something that I really do myself as well that I know will help you guys. So first of all, for the next 7 days, you're going to wake up 30 minutes earlier. Oh, but I hate mornings. I'm just not a morning person. You're a morning person now. Again, brainwash yourself. You are a morning person right now. Forget about it. Go to bed earlier. You're not going to have any distractions. Spend 10 minutes in silence with your journal. Okay, maybe 5 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes. If you don't have a journal, take out a pen and paper. Don't go to your phone and write these down, because I'm a firm believer pen to paper works way more than the phone. There's too many distractions. And write down 3 things that you're grateful for every day, and maybe 1 intention for the day. Number 3, remove any negative influence. If you don't like something that you're seeing online, mute them, unfollow them. People aren't going to be that offended. It's not that big of a deal. If you're constantly not wanting to listen to family drama and the chat's going off and everyone's fighting, blah, blah, mute it, leave the group. It doesn't make a big deal. You know, you're just so scared about what other people will think. But again, if you want these things to change, the habit is you don't see those things. Your phone is off. You're not getting switched on straight away in the morning. And my final question is, would your habits still make you proud today of the journey and the success that you're on? And if you haven't got any habits in place, maybe you don't. Be honest with yourself. I don't even have any habits. I mean, that's your sign to implement some. If you're a successful person and I was to take away money and money disappear today, would your habits still make you proud? Would you still practice them? Or are you doing it for a show and just because you want to make money? Because there's a big difference. You should be doing it for yourself, and then the money will flow and the company and everything else will come to you. So my final thing is, elevation isn't about money all the time. It's not about the success, the name, the job role. It is about standards, and standards in every area of your life will just reflect an internal side of you that maybe you need to work on a little bit more, or maybe you need to have more confidence in. And it's a great way to give a bit of a reflection on yourself as well. This is all about you right now. And I would just say, stay disciplined, stay elevated, stay connected to yourself, stay true to yourself, and don't fall for the things that everyone else is doing just because you think that's how it's meant to be done. This is your life. This is your body, your mind. These are your habits, and everything you do with your time, with your energy, it's just a reflection of what's going on in your bank account. So maybe it's not about business today. Maybe it's about your personal account, but if your bank balance is at zero or it's in a negative and you sit on the couch and you eat takeaways and you have horrible negative talk about other people and you're always moaning, do you not think maybe your energy needs a shift or something needs to swap? I would probably say yeah. So again, I hope this helped. It's always here to inspire. I'm always here to take any feedback. I like to keep these 20-25 minutes. We're consistent queens this year. I'm showing up for you. You show up for me here. Like, comment, share if you could. Let me know what you think below. But remember, the only person that can do it and take themselves to the next level is you. You shouldn't be doing it for anyone else, and you should be just showing up for yourself. So I hope this episode inspired you. I will see you on next week's episode, and have a beautiful week.